Is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we have a market crash. Oh my goodness. But I tell you what, I am actually excited because I know what's really going on. And I wanted to shoot this video in response to some discussions going on in the Crypto Pro private group. And if you want to learn about becoming a private group member to get this kind of good information, you can check the link below. You can join for 50 USDT per month or $100 to be a gold member. But in the group tonight, I'm explaining to the guys what I think is really going on. So I'm going to jump over to the charts. There we go. We're going to start out with Bitcoin. So this Bitcoin crash here, we see this great big fat dip that's going on. Let's see what kind of a percentage dip that we were talking about here. You know, somewhere around, what are we talking? 12%. Okay, so the story is that it was a result of Donald Trump announcing that he's going to slap China with tariffs because they're doing some sneaky stuff behind the scenes, trying to control the precious rare minerals market. So that's the explanation. Actually, it's just an excuse for the exchanges to liquidate a whole bunch of longs and make a ton of money. So what's really going on here is the fact that the market makers, the exchanges, they're greedy. And I think Binance is behind this one simply because they're in China, of course, and China's behind this whole deal, this kerfuffle going on with Donald Trump and trying to make these sneaky deals with other nations so that they can corner the precious minerals market around the world. All they need is a reason to dump the market and to go against the general conventional wisdom. They want to go against the retail investors, and when you can see the bets that are being placed. In other words, if you want to do leverage trading and you want to short the market or long the market on leverage, you place that order and the exchanges are looking right at your order because they have to handle those. So whenever they see the majority of people going long on leverage, that's when they're going to dump the market, liquidate, make a ton of money. Whenever they see everyone stacked up, shorting the market on leverage, they pump the market. So this is scary, all right? But then every single point in history since I've been following the market since 2016, okay? I've been through how many bull runs? The 2017, the 2021, and now 2025. It's the third one. You always have a big shakeup where they scare the crap out of everybody. The last one that we had was the tariff scare. The one before that was the COVID scare. And what always happens? They flash crash the market. Everybody thinks it's the end. That's it. It's all downhill from here. It's never going to come back. And then what happens? The market explodes. As soon as we get to like a 95% on the bearish feelings across the market, right? On the fear and greed index, that's when they pump the market. Whenever it gets to 80 or 90%, on bullish sentiment, that's when they dump the market. So this is nothing but regular good old manipulation. And besides the fact, how long have I been talking about a possible correction all the way down to 92K? I've been talking about this since summer, and I kind of gave up hope on that last month thinking, well, I guess we're not going to go back and fill the CME gap. And then I started to think, well, maybe we'll get a slight correction. So I've been talking about the possibility of Bitcoin correcting to 117K, and that if we didn't hold that, we would test 112. And that if we didn't hold that, the least probable scenario would be 105. And then here we see it right in front of our very eyes. Several hours ago, I told the guys in the private group, if we don't hold 117, we're going to drop all the way down to 112K. And we did. Now, if we don't bounce again off of this 200 EMA, and you see we bounced right there on the 200 EMA and snapped back up. Once this cycle completes, the stochastic, if it comes all the way down here to the oversold zone, which I think it will, we're going to test the 200 EMA again. If that doesn't hold, then we will go down and fulfill this 105K. And then, of course, below that, we've got the 101 And the least likely scenario is that they drive this thing all the way down to 92K and fill the CME gap. It's possible, maybe not as probable, but it can happen. So I'm looking at this as an early Christmas present because I'm out here buying. So let's just check out everything else. We'll run through a few charts so you can get a good idea of what's going on. We see that we're early on after the bearish crossover, so we're going to go down further and at least test that 200 EMA. That's the next point that we need to get into our minds that is going to happen. This big volume node sticking out here at 108K just happens to coincide magically with the 200 EMA. Ethereum, it's going to, look at that, it wicked straight down to the 200 exponential moving average line. And if it doesn't hold that again, the second time it's going to test 33. If it doesn't hold that, we're going to the red dashed line. Yes, the red dashed line. I thought we'd never see it again at 2809. But if we don't hold the bottom of this box, we will come back down. In fact, let me extend the infamous red dashed line is back in play. Now, Solana at 186. Okay, I don't even have my boxes on here. I need to extend them because it got way beyond my normal TA, but same thing here. It actually snapped back up to the 200 EMA line and it's going to fall off of that. So next, I've got this blue line here on Solana. I think the next stop is 142. If we don't hold that, we're down here to 120 and the bottom of that X box is 99. I've been talking about these levels since May. All right, this is nothing new. So we shouldn't be afraid. You know, I've been saying this could all happen. I've been saying that this is possible. And now that we see it, we shouldn't be surprised at all. XRP at 239. Got to extend this box here. Look what it did. It wicked all the way down and went below. Oh my gosh, it went all the way down to like $1. So I think that next stop for XRP is $2.17. Then we'll test 179. But it's already moving up. So XRP might be kind of out of the woods. I don't know if we're going to go much lower than this point of control on the VPVR. So XRP is looking pretty solid. Caspa, I tried to buy down here when it wicked to 4.7 cents. I could not get my TANGEM app to fulfill the trade. I did 2 trades, couldn't do it. So I'm going to send some Caspa to, I think it's either Gemini or Kraken, and pull it off on an exchange because there's not enough liquidity on the TANGEM swap that uses Changely. So this is a valuable lesson that I've learned, because when it comes to the bull market peak, I'll know, don't try to swap this Caspa using the TANGEM app. Send it to an exchange where there's enough liquidity that I can swap it out. And dear God, don't wait until after the blow off top or it's going to be very hard to get out. Litecoin is back to $98. I didn't think we would go below 100, and here we are. Point of control price is at 86 bucks. We're bearish, so we could see a drop down here to this support resistance zone level, topping out at 56 bucks. That sounds crazy, but it can happen. Chainlink at 17 is actually holding fairly strong. This is performing well. I mean, if this was the end of the world, Chainlink would be down here at around 7 bucks. So it's not that serious, guys. Filecoin is at a great buy right now. We've just dropped completely below the box. I'll probably pick up a little Filecoin. I don't even know. It dropped to 50 cents. Holy cow. So who knows? There's nothing in between the current price and the bottom of this wick. And we're at the stochastic crossover. If Filecoin drops to 50 cents, I'm aping in hard. And then last on the big list is Graph. Graph has already dropped below the red dash line. Wow. And I was saying last June, the Graph would be a great buy at 8 cents. And if it ever drops down to 6 cents again, that's where I would be buying in. And here we are at 6 cents. And we have a bearish crossover. So we'll see if we can go down below 6 cents, and I'll be stacking up. Last but not least, Jasmy is looking juicy. We're still bearish. The bottom of the support resistance box is at 0.8 of a cent. So I would wait until there to grab some Jasmy. Now let's run through AI16Z is at 5 cents, guys. That's ridiculous. AI projects are not performing well. And I'm being cautious with all of my AI projects. I'm just sitting on the bags that I have. But I do think AI is the future of the world. And you got to be stupid to not believe that AI is going to make a huge explosion one of these days. I don't know if it'll be this bull market or not. But you can't lose if you're holding AI projects for the long term. AI XBT has had some, or 16Z actually, has had some problems and some challenges. You can read about it in the news releases, and that's why it's correcting hard. But I still think that it's going to come back. Virtuals, wow, at 72 cents. That's a steal, guys. Look at that. It dipped down and touched exactly to the bottom of my support resistance zone. For all you people that don't believe, you think TA doesn't really work. If TA doesn't work, then why do we always see these magical points being fulfilled that I have had on my charts for how many years? For a long time. All right, let's see here. Let's go to some memes here. Stupid. I picked up more stupid. I think stupid is going to just be a 100x type of situation. I mean, if we go down to 0.0011 and we just go back to the all-time high, that's a 23x, but I think it's going to do more than that. And here's something interesting on stupid. If you're nervous about it, see this blue line? This blue line is the distance between the first initial pump and the second big pump. That's how long it took to accumulate and consolidate. Now, when we push this out here, this line tells us where the next pump is probably going to happen. So you can accumulate all the way out here until the end of November. All right. It's going to happen again. So right when everybody loses all hope, I'm going to still load up and it's probably going to run again in late November. Turbo. Look at Turbo. Jumped all the way down to 0.0009. I was telling the group, watch out for 0.0019. It can happen. And we went right through it. Bearish cross. We're coming back down. There's a big volume node at 0.002. That's what I'm waiting for to see if I can get lucky and get some more turbo. I think Dog and Me is going to continue to drop. We got a support resistance zone down below here for Dog and Me. And it is between the range of 0.0002 and 0.0016. That's a great strike zone right there. This green box strike zone, that's a great place to jump in. Now, DJI 6930. I should have bought down here when it dipped below a cent, and I didn't. But we're looking bearish. If we can get back down to the bottom of this box at 1.1 cent, I might put some DGen gambling money on the Doge project. Now, Dogecoin is at 19 cents. This is looking pretty juicy, guys, and it dipped down to 15 cents. I'm hearing talk that the bull market peak could see a $4 Doge, so we can't forget about Doge. Pengu, Pudgy Penguins. Guys, man, I'm so mad I missed this because I sold out of Pudgy Penguins at a cent, and I was going to buy it back at 0.003, and I missed it. And then it went to 3 cents at 10x on me. But look at this. It dipped all the way back down to the lowest volume node at 0.0006. It was at just a tad below 0.006. We do have a bearish cross coming. So if we can get back down in this lower zone just above a cent, I'm going to jump on Pudgy Penguins because the market cap is huge and it's going to do big things in the bull market. PopCat. I thought we would never see PopCat come back down below 30 cents, and look what it did. It's sitting at 15 cents. It dipped all the way down to 7 cents. That's insanity. So we do have a bearish cross. If it goes below 10 cents, I'm aping in. It's going to happen. Brett dipped all the way down to 1.1 cents. I don't like Brett because there's one big wallet holder, so I don't trust it. But at 1 cent, hey, you can't beat that. And Myro is sitting at 1 cent. It dipped down all the way to a half a cent. I don't trust Myro either because I think the devs have abandoned the project, but it still has heavy volume and the community is strong. Okay, so a couple others. Bonk. Oh my gosh. Oh man, look at that. You can see it on the chart. Look at this dip. And we're now below my lowest support resistance zone box, but it's coming back up. Bonk is pretty safe. It ain't going nowhere, and neither is Bohm. Bohm is down below my lowest resistance support box. Well, actually, it's right at the bottom of the box, so they're looking pretty good. this ain't that bad of a crash, guys. I mean, come on, let's be for real. Moving on, Swift Coin has done very well. It didn't come down much at all. It was just a tad below 0.07 of a cent. Okay, or 0.7 of a cent rather. XCN, I said long ago that it was going to drop below a penny and give us a sale, and it looks like it did. It hit 0.00857, and it looks like it's moving up. We've probably seen the worst of that. B3, if it can drop down lower, I might buy a big bag just to equalize how far upside down that I am in that project, because it's ugly. But again, here's Turbo. I'm looking for this big volume node on Turbo at 0.002. Okay, XYO is under a penny. I've been talking about that, saying that anything under 1 cent on XYO is looking pretty good, and it's probably going to go down here to this lower support resistance zone box. At a 0.5 cent, I'm buying. At 0.0035, I'm definitely buying, because that is a good project. We had one of our members in the group that bought into Zora at 4 cents, and it's just going straight up, and it's not suffering at all during the flash crash. In fact, it's still moving up. So congratulations to Randall in the group who jumped on Zora. That was a great buy. Now let's get to my favorite one, and that is Toshi. Toshi wicked all the way down. Oh my gosh. Now, I did call for a correction of Toshi down to 0.0007. But it went all the way down to 0.00037. At the bottom, it magically touched the bottom of this support resistance zone box and got snatched right back up. So we're sitting at the point of control node at 0.00075, but we have this bearish cross on the 1 day, so it can still go lower. I would love to buy back in at 0.006. and continue to accumulate all the way down to the bottom of this box at 0.0048. Now, I sold right up here. I think I sold at 0.00103. All right. I had 2 million. I got rid of 1.6 million. And so I've got a free, $300 I'm sitting on right now. And the longer I wait to buy it back, that amount just keeps on going up. Couple other favorites. Banker is doing pretty well in the flash crash. I think we've seen the worst of it. It could dip into this lower support resistance zone box down here at 0.003. I will load up more on that. Banker is a great project. It's an AI trading bot. Check it out if you don't know much about it. I did just buy more KeyCat only because it's so predictable. So I got a nice little bag of KeyCat, and I might as well sit on this. It's down here at the bottom of the box. If it goes down to the lower zone, I'm just going to buy more. So overall, going back to Bitcoin at 112, in review, we could drop down to 105. If that fails, it's 101. If that fails, we've got the 92. And I think that's pretty much going to be it, okay? So all in all, yeah, it's scary. But remember, when there's blood in the streets and everybody is scared to death out of the market and shaking in their shoes, that's when you should buy. Because you can't let the emotions rule your decisions in crypto. The market makers will take advantage of you. It's a dangerous market, all right? You've got to go against conventional wisdom, and you have to be a contrarian trader in order to get out of this with a profit, which is what I've been doing for the last several months, making trades, making money, and that's why I'm buying on this dip, because I'm doing the opposite of the masses. So I hope that we get all the way down to that 92K, but I'm not counting on it, because as soon as they have too many people that are loading up on leveraged short positions, they're going to ramp this thing straight up through the moon, and those shorts are going to get obliterated. Mark my words. You want to hit the like button to help support the channel. Tick the notification bell, like, subscribe, do all of those nice, lovely things. Check out the link below for the private group. No newbies. I don't want people in there that are looking to get rich quick, and I have to vet you before I let you in. So that's all I've got for now. This is Carlton, and I am out.